Welcome back. So I want to do a quick video on what I've done in the past for the garden and talk a little bit more about plans for the future. So the first two images show the garden as it began. It was a 40 by 80 foot section. I didn't have weed block fabric. I didn't really have anything other than chickens to deal with the occasional bugs and a lot of grass issues. Things grew very well. I was very impressed overall with the quantity. It was just difficult to get it planned, to know what to anticipate, and clean up. I didn't have that nice clean set of rows. First year, 2021, ended up with an outstanding harvest, especially in terms of squash, but did decide the following year to try and do more in terms of just organizing everything, making it a little bit more functional, a little more planned. I started using greenhouse flats, started to try and grow as much as I could from seed. Ended up with some really good harvests, things that turned out outstanding. Did start using weed block fabric, especially in areas with peppers, areas with squash, areas where I really felt like I needed to have control over it. I did start doing more trellising for the tomatoes. Unfortunately, put it in kind of at the end, so it ended up being a fair amount of a mess, but did by the end of the season add a greenhouse. Got it up right before 6 inches of snow, somewhat temporary, but then the following spring decided to really, in earnest, kind of get stuff planned. Did a lot more planting from seed, organized that, planned that, the spreadsheets that I showed in a previous video, and really took my time to kind of plan what I was going to do. I took the entire southern end of the garden and added weed block fabric, added some garlic, tried to really integrate the rabbits, and tried to use weed block fabric to really capitalize on those spaces where I knew I wanted to grow more intensely: beans, peppers, some of the tomato areas. Grew a lot of flowers from seed. I'd never done that before, so that was a lot of fun. Ended up with some really neat varieties and a lot of interest, a lot of visual interest in the garden, which I had never had before. Ended up really being a year of peppers and tomatoes, which was great because that's primarily what we eat, but then still had other issues with how do I organize it, how do I rotate crops, and what do I do with the greenhouse. The greenhouse has kind of always been the challenge. And the trellising. So 2023, 2024 was really the year of figuring out trellising, figuring out the greenhouse plan, and hopefully, as you'll see in the next video, fixing those issues. See you then.